trying to make sure that there's no aliens among us. This is Geeks Assembled, and Lee and I are here, and we're not in Cardiff, and we're not surrounded by a expelled alien life forms because we're not in Cardiff. Apparently Cardiff is just filled to the rafters with aliens at this point. And Torchwood's there, and Torchwood 3. Actually, we should be really like specific. It's Torchwood 3. And Captain Jack is in charge. And so this is him and his team, which is basically just Gwen and Steele, Tyler Steele, who's just started. And I guess Kai's there, but it's a bit after Miracle Day, and anyway, that's really all I know about the setting. It's Cardiff, it's aliens, it's these few members of Torchwood, and it's the planet Earth is being filled up with aliens. And I'm kind of interested in what this looks like to Lee, because this is like the first in a bunch of box sets about aliens and gods among us, and so I just was wondering what he thought, and what his opening thoughts are. So go ahead, Lee.
Well, this, as you've said, this is, as it says on the back of the box, picks up the events after Miracle Day.
Yeah. Oh, it does say that? Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of thought.
And Big Finish did class this as Series 5 of Torchwood.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So this is the first box set of 3 entitled Aliens Among Us, which includes 4 stories. And you say you've got the new guy, Tyler Steele, but also you missed out Mr. Colchester as well there.
Mr. Colchester. So I'm sorry.
Mr. Colchester, the grumpy old fart, which he's a great character.
Yeah, he is.
And you say you've got Gwen, Captain Jack, and also you'll get Orr as well.
Later on, he's introduced at the third one.
In the third story, which Orr does become part of the team in the never box sets. So
because Orr is alien as well.
Yeah. So this is about rebuilding Torchwood in Cardiff after all the events of what happened in Miracle Day. The old team, most of the members were died, killed. So they had to rebuild from the ground upwards. And as you say, it's aliens are among us. Which we find out from the first event, which is a story which is called Changes Everything, written by James Goss. He always writes some good stuff. And then your second story, Aliens and Sex and Chips and Gravy, by James Goss as well, which is a fun romp in a in a club with a hen party of aliens. And then the third one is Orr, which introduces the character Orr by Juno Dawson. And then the last one is Superiority Complex by A.K. Benedict, which is a hotel of aliens. Which each story is quite interesting, but it's just the way you've got the characters you already know. Jack, Gwen. You say you've got what's his name?
Tyler Steele.
No. Gwen's husband. What's his name?
Kai Owens.
Yeah, that's it. Reese, that's it. But so you know all those characters anyway because you got to know them on the TV. It's the way they're bringing these other characters in. You know, Tyler wants to be a sort of a journalist who wants to be, he's good at his job. And then you've got Mr. Colchester who has been brought in by the government to oversee things. So the team is building, which I like to see. They're building a connection with each other. Some are closer than others. You know, I mean, Jack's already there. He's already bedded Tyler.
Mhm.
You don't change Jack. Yeah, but it is for the 4 stories. It's a good set to begin with. And it's building up because it's an arc, and it's an arc of 12 different stories. So it builds up and builds up. So you're left sort of with a cliffhanger at the end of this story 4. But as I say, that's carries on to box set 2, of course. But it's life in Cardiff if you're an alien, really.
Yep.
Well, yeah, that's my opening thoughts. It's a good listen. I haven't. This is the first time I've re-listened to it since I first bought it back when it was first released. So
Cool. Well, yeah. This is very, very Welsh. It's as a lot of things in Torchwood are super Welsh. And that's a fun thing because it's got the mayor, and the mayor's not the mayor that we remember from the Slovene, Fel Foch or whatever. This is the mayor is played by Stephen Critchlow, and then also we have Andy Davison comes back, PC Andy Davison, the copper, and he's played by Tom Price, and he's in a lot of the Torchwood episodes, like the standalone stories and things like that, because he's considered to be basically an adjunct to Torchwood 3 because of his friendship with Gwen. Really, his friendship with Gwen started that. Anyway, and the other thing that's really interesting is that the rift it kind of is moving around. It's like there's some parts of this rift that are opening up underwater, and some that are opening up in more inland, not just right on the bay there, right in the wharf where they have the Doctor Who experience, or they used to anyway, where we have Yanto's wall. So anyway, let's see some other things about this story that are really cool. I really like the fact that in the second story, it's all about a wedding, bachelorette party, and it's kind of a lot more sex than you'd expect, but I actually don't know what it would be like to go to a bachelorette party in the UK. I've only been to one in the US, and it may actually be a lot sexier there over across the pond than it is in this in this neck of the woods. But I gosh, I don't even know. So what is sexy, like as in sexy Britain is sexy, and what is sexy as in what is alien sexy? Like that, I what you don't know in this world could kill you. You know, it's just that simple. And let's see other things. Yeah, they were all drinking these drinks, and sometimes Jack was at the bar, and sometimes he ended up at the bar tending a couple times in the stories, and that was fun. And yeah, but they were in lots of danger, and yeah, lots of danger from these women who would I assume eat as part of like their canopies or whatever.
I mean, the description is of their backs opened up.
Yeah,
And
they had they had extra teeth, extra, yeah, I don't know. And I think that having sex doggy style would get really, really dangerous at that point. I don't even know.
I mean, they had to carry the aliens had to carry cases around with them, which was their mobile life support systems.
Yeah.
The poor old male stripper who was booked for the did stand a chance.
Oh my gosh.
But that story as well, the one after the hen night, as we call it over here, the hen night.
Hen night. Yeah, that's right. You do call it a hen night.
Yeah, I don't know if you understood what was happening at the end of the story with Gwen and her mother being shot. But it because what you're listening to it as it's happening, but then you hear Gwen's voice saying, "No, mother, it's me. It's not me. It's someone else."
Go on. What? Tell me about what?
As from that story there, at the end of that story, you realise something's not right with Gwen.
Okay.
And in the stories after that, you start to realise, because when Gwen keeps saying, it has a voice in her head, I'm here, I'm still here. That is not me. You have taken over my body.
Oh, geez. Okay.
So everything after the second story, you've got to assume that is not Gwen.
Oh, okay.
Well, I know what happened there because I've listened to the whole box set. So,
All of
but
them. Yeah.
so you get to think, whoa, right, okay. So it was Gwen at the beginning of the box set, and then second story onwards, something's happened, and her mother's been shot, and then say the third story is Gwen and Reese grieving over her mother, but then you realise, well, hold on, I mean it's not Gwen, or is it Gwen? You're asking questions all the
Oh
time.
man. Okay.
I guess you didn't click onto that one.
Yeah, I completely missed that. Wow. So that happened right after the party sort of broke up, right?
Yeah, when
When they were
Colchester,
getting in the taxi.
well, after we've got to assume that Gwen wasn't Gwen in that story. It was someone else using their body. Because at the end of the story, Gwen is sort of speaking to whoever who's in control of her body. and
Huh.
she's there watching her mother being shot by this person who's in her body.
Oh man.
So they've used Gwen's body to kill her own mother.
Oh man. That's dark.
Oh, you're gonna re-listen to that one now, aren't you?
Oh my God, yeah. Wow. Yeah, and then I loved that they brought this changeling in. The changeling isn't like sort of the Odo kind that can change into different forms and stuff, but has a basic sort of familiar bipedal humanoid structure that they return to all the time. This creature called Or was actually trying to tune into what someone was desirous of and replicate that in so many places in their own body, so that they were able to
What your
be
was it? What your
accepted.
heart desires,
Yeah,
which can be a bit awkward,
yeah,
especially for like Tyler or Jack.
yeah. Amazing. And so Or is somewhere in the middle of this, or in the middle of Superiority Complex, or actually tunes into a uh a form of uh um alternative, or um AI anyway. That this AI has some structure in the hotel and is very interested in the elevator, and or develops on the inside of their person an elevator going up and down inside their person as sort of a turn on for this um artificial intelligence, this alternative intelligence in the hotel. I thought that was like, one of the coolest things I'd ever heard on a science fiction story. I liked what Adams did with elevators in the Starship Heart of Gold. I thought that was really fun. That they all had people at the Starship Heart of Gold and the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy edifice, and those two. I mean, wow, what he did with elevators there. But this one was just sort of um it was sort of really incredibly different than I ever expected. And if I can be surprised like that, and I've been reading and listening to science fiction for so long, I just think, wow, that was brilliant. So AK Benedict really threw me for a loop, and that was really awesome. And then the other thing that I really liked about um that story of the artificial intelligence is that the artificial intelligence wanted to protect itself from all of the weirdness that was going on around it. So it was kind of developing sort of passive aggressive personality, and that was fun. And I just think that I got so much out of like looking for clues about the hotel, and yeah, of course, there was lots to do with like the aliens that were just milling around and being all superior, namely the superiority complex, treating humans like shit, eating them,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
ripping their skin off, dissolving them in acid. I mean, just all this really heinous stuff. It was just kind of, par for the course for these guys. But that that thing about the elevator, I mean, that was so weird and wonderful. Because you think of people having some sort of strange fixation, and I have some strange fixations, like I do, like mansard roofs and ice discs and waterfalls that look like fire falling, and I just like all this shit, just like, wow, holy shit, this is amazing. Oh yeah, and the moon rises like that's also really trippy to me. Okay, anyway, so go ahead, Lee. What's your favorite stuff
Well,
about this?
my favorite thing about this box set is the rebuilding of a new team. Uh, and you say you've got Tyler there. You
Mm-hmm.
knew he's you can see why Jack went for him. But
Yeah.
and Mr. Colchester, the old bugger. But a scene between these two characters where Tyler's sort of accusing Colchester of being the old school, mostly homophobic, racist old fat, like this. And Colchester says, "You don't really know me." He says, "Anyway, I've got to go now. I've got to go and pick up my husband. Oh, by the way, he's a Muslim."
Oh,
So great little
yeah, I
scene.
like I like that scene too. That was fun.
But
A little
but
slap in Tyler's face.
these two characters are always at loggerheads,
Yep.
but they always work so well together. So
Yeah.
it's a good build up of a good team happening here. The old team has gone. This is the new brand, shall we say? And the stories what follow does build and build on these characters. For me, Mr. Colchester has become a great character in these audios. He's been in the box sets, but he's also done these, the single monthly things. They've teamed him up with Ace a couple of times in the audios.
Mr. Colchester?
Yeah, yeah. Mr. Colchester and Ace have appeared in two, I think, audios together.
Oh, cool. Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, we just need Tyler to get teamed up with someone. But I like those two characters. So you've got Jack, which at the moment we're not getting any Jack, are we? So until things get sorted. Um, but we do have Eve Miles return as Gwen in a couple of audios. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, it's a good start to a 3-part box set, and it just builds and builds, and you've got to really pay attention to them, or you miss things.
Or you
As
miss like Gwen shooting her mother. Oh my God.
or was it Gwen's body being used as the weapon?
Right, but I mean, like the same, like that, whether or not it's her or an alien inside of her, like turning her into like what the Mara, getting inside the head and just running her.
You would say that's the voice. The voice is the voices in the head is Gwen trying to shout. This is stop you using my body. You're using my body,
Oh,
and all like that. And you think, you start to think, well, what's happened to Gwen?
huh,
Where is she? Where is her conscience, or where so
yeah,
but you do find out as the story goes along.
okay.
But yeah, a good box set to start a series. I mean, this was what, man, 20. is it 2017? This box set, so it's a few years back now, but still good to listen to.
Yep. And let's see, other things like are you was there anything that you didn't like about it?
I know I'm not into. As you well know, I'm not really into politically themed stories, but this is quite politically themed. With the mayor's office, the way things are run with the aliens, and what's the I can't remember the name of the character now. Hold on, it's no, it's not there. Is it Rojada?
Yeah, Rojada.
Rojada, who at the end of the box set sort of gets rid of the mayor and takes control of the city.
Yeah.
And Tala doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
But yes, villain of the piece at the end of the box set. So yeah, some great supporting characters in this. So I mean, you get the obvious Captain Jack trying to bed everything with a pulse. But there again, he'd mostly bed anything without a pulse as well.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Jack. But for me, this box set is for the new characters to build on their own.
And when Orr was changing into the form that Jack most appreciated or whatever,
yeah,
I thought that I could have sworn it was going to be
Yanto.
No, Tennant.
Oh, right.
Yeah, or Eccleston.
I don't know. To be
honest,
honest,
see, like that was what I was thinking. I mean, of course, Yanto was in the back of my mind the whole time, but
see, trouble is with the character of Jack. He just moves on to the next one.
Yeah, and Orr was trying to nail it down, but
yeah,
there was I mean, for a lot of that, it sounded like it was going to be Yanto, but then it kept going past Yanto, and I was like,
it must be Tyler then.
Oh, either that or it could be Eccleston or Tennant. That's what I just thought it was the Doctor. I thought it would end up being the Doctor because on some level the Doctor does it for a lot of people, anyway. And then you're right, the whole of the fourth story is really majorly political.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to do with class warfare and poverty, and it has to do with the political machinations, and like it is an incredibly
also, was it xenophobia?
It is. There is a lot of xenophobia, but that's actually threaded throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
The problem with the fourth is that it just it dwells on these aliens who just think that they have everything, and that people, the humans here, are basically nothing but money making sources for them. And in that, it's very much like the Goa'uld from Stargate. They just walk in, take control of bodies, take control of minds, take control of infrastructure, build their own kind of government structure, and then boom, there, and it's all started in Cardiff, not in Cairo, but in another sea city. Anyway, that was just interesting.
Yeah.
I agree that was pretty dang political, and yeah. So what are your final say and score on this?
Well, it's this box set hits the ground running. There's not much mention of the Miracle Day.
No.
No, but this is saying that it picks up. So they don't really linger on the Miracle Day stuff. They just get onto the job of back in Cardiff, trying to rebuild Torchwood 3 with the new with the new team, and that's what this box set is doing, getting the listeners to get used to these new people. So and it does it well. So I enjoyed it. It's good to re-listen to this one again. It makes me want to listen to the next.
Yes, I would agree.
So you never know. So for me, I will give this box set Aliens Among Us 1. I'm going to give this 9.5. Well, what should you call it? 9.5 aliens out of 10.
Oh, nice. All right. And I will I agree with Lee. That's a good that's an appropriate score for this 9.5 interior elevators out of 10. Oh my god, that's just that was so different. I've never heard that. That was so cool. And I'm not going to become low-key obsessed with elevators now, but
I think you will.
There are some interesting structural matrices that elevators have embodied through time, and so but the other thing is, like, the other really important key thing is this is they didn't dwell on any of the characters from Miracle Day.
No.
So I mean, we who liked it before they added all the stars from America into it, and tried to really connect it with the Stars television network in America. Wrap that up and push those characters out of the way, really. And so I don't know if they could ever come back, but this in the fact that this is right after that, I find that I'm encouraged, and I like Mr. Colchester. I like that he is I like that he I like that he's done a lot of stuff in his life, and he's got a lot of moxie. And then Tyler's really interesting in that he would fill Yanto's shoes, or at least be in sort of that role, that central role of interacting with the rest of Cardiff on behalf of Torchwood in a really positive way. And because of his charm and attractiveness, he could like Yanto does, deflect interest in Torchwood and just make it more on him, and what return the interest to the person because doing anyway, just that stuff. There's more. I really liked Or. I liked that conceptual ever so much.
Mhm.
That was so fun. It was such a good character. It was such a good idea. Oh my gosh, it was sexy. I mean, talk about sexy for something for Torchwood. Torchwood needs sex. Torchwood needs sex. It needs plenty of violence. It needs just a hell of a lot of skin and a hell of a lot, and not skin falling off the body like that. That was, but there's the gore, and then it needs a heck of a lot of violence, and that was the violence. But then it needs the sexy skin, and so of course, Or coming along would be really fun for, and you know that it would, Or would have to look a bit like Alex or a bit like the Brigadier for me.
There,
Uh,
there was a great quote in this where Tyler says to Jack, "Have you seen my underwear anywhere?" "Yes, it's hanging off the chandeliers."
yeah.
Typical Jack.
Typical, yes, quite. It was great. And
That's Torchwood is sexy.
Torchwood needs sex. Yes,
Yeah.
it's sexy. Anyway, so all of that to say, we need sexy too. We bring sexy back every week, and if you'd like to be sexy with us, please, by all means, get in touch with Lee or me or whatever, and all we ask is that you be 18 or over because sexy, and and have a camera, microphone, device, and Zoom, and watch what we watch, or listen to what we listen to, and talk about it with us. That's right. That's the easiest sort of connection that you can make. Anyway, and then the other thing is that you since you're watching on social media, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and then also by all means share widely, and stay tuned. Later on this weekend we are going to be podcasting about Cocaine Bear. Anyway, rawr, sniff, rawr, sniff. Anyway, that's a whole nother kettle of fish. Anyway,
Yeah, well.
yeah. Thanks for watching.
Bye.